Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial we are going to be working on these crochet hook grips or covers, whatever you want to call them. This came about because I was working on a project with my clover hook here, and as I was working on the project, the rubber, like this rubber piece came right off my hook. And I thought, well, I'll glue it back on there. Oh, that didn't work. So I got on YouTube and I found how you can make these little hook covers or hook grips. And I made one and I started working with it and I thought, oh yeah, this is definitely worth it. So I made a little grip and then I did a tutorial and a bunch of you asked if I would please do a tutorial on how to make them. So I thought, okay, that's easy enough. I'll do that for you guys. So here we are. So what you are going to need is a hook that doesn't have a grip on it. So a hook like that, unless, you know, you just want to cut one off. So get you a hook like that doesn't have a grip. And then Amazon has a pack like this. Now, I have the one from Walmart, and the one from Walmart has the exact same loom, the exact same little tool you're going to need. The only difference is they have a pack of assorted rubber bands, and I kind of wanted I wanted this one because it has a bunch of each color, so then I could make, you know, my solid colored one and whatnot. But anyway, so I'm going to put a link in the description box for the one I got from Amazon. The one from Walmart, I think it was like $9.97 in the craft aisle. Not too bad, but I like this one. So what you get is you get your loom, and it has 3 peg strips on it, and these each come off. I show you in the tutorial how to do that because we've got to adjust this. When you open yours and you pull out your loom, your peg row things, they're going to be off-centered a little bit, but I'll show you guys how to get those in line because we need them to be lined up and then have 2 pegs off of your board here. But I show you that in the tutorial. Then you've got your little tool. You got your little pick here, and this end is worked like to take off this little peg board, and then you can just pop your little rows off. But anyway, I show you that. And then all these rubber bands, and then you get these little hook things. We don't use those, but so like I said, I'm going to put a link in the description box so you guys can see, or so you guys can get yours from Amazon, or you can get it from Walmart. Sorry about that, guys. I had to sneeze again. And again. Anyway, so get your guys' hook, get your yarn pack, and in the tutorial we're going to make this one. And the only reason I make this one is because I realize it's kind of hard for you guys to see exactly what I'm doing when I'm just working with solid, you know, just a whole solid piece. So I change colors. I wanted my chevron to be more concise, but you can see I messed up right there. Anyway, alrighty, get your guys' supplies together. Let's get started. Alrighty, to get started, we are going to need to move the rows of pegs on our loom. So when you first open yours, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this middle row is actually stuck out farther than these other two. I'm not exactly sure because I've already moved mine. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this little tool and we're going to pop this outer row off. So all we're going to do is see the little hook on it right here. We're going to take that, and what we're doing is hooking this little nub right there to the little nub right here, like this, and then just pop it like that. Come to this next one and pop it like that, and this last one and pop it like that. What that does is just helps pick up this last row so we can take that off. Now push the rest of these on. And it doesn't matter which one of the outside rows you popped off, just as long as it's one of the outside. And then you may need to go ahead and do it again for the middle row, because what we need is we need these 2 rows left on our little boards here to be lined up. Like so right here and right here, they need to be level with each other. So each peg is right next to each other. Okay, so go ahead, and if you need to do it for the middle, just insert that little end of the pick thing and pop it up. And go here and pop it up. And here and pop it up. And then what that does, it's supposed to, there, just easily pops these off. So it'll look like that if you pop them all off. Okay, so if you did like I just did and pop them all off, what we need to do is we need the last two, or this side, doesn't matter which, the last two off the end of this board. So I'm going to bring this over just like this and push that down like that. Just so all I need is these last two pegs off the edge of the board, and then I'll line this one up right next to it. There. I'm going to bump this. Okay, so just like that. Make sure that's nice. See the gap right there? Push that down a little farther. All right, and also make sure if you look at your little pegs, you see how it's in the shape of a U? See the U right there? We want those facing the same way too. See how my U's are facing the same way? Okay. All right, now we are ready to get started. So I'm going to go with a dark color so you guys can see it on the pegs. These little rubber bands bounce everywhere. Okay, so let's get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on these 4 pegs that are off of the little board things. And we're going to pick up two of these rubber bands and then cross them like that. Just twist them to where they crisscross and make an X. And we're going to put it on the loom from this corner to this corner to this corner. So our first 2, twist and put them on the crisscross like that. And then we're going to take 2 more, twist them, and now we're going to go to the other 2 pegs to make our X. So it looks just like that. And now we're going to do that again. We're going to do the first 2, the same first 2 that we did when we started. So these pegs, and then we'll come back and crisscross on these pegs. So what that's doing is creating a base for the tip of our hook to set on, like this. Okay? Alright, so I just did that. And now I need to take 2 more, cross them, and then go over these last 2. Alright, so now when we look at our pegs, we should have 4 loops on each peg, okay? Trying to get them uncrossed so you guys can see them. But we have 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here, and 2 here. Okay? So just slide those down. Just like that. And now what we're going to do is take a rubber band and we are going to go from this peg to this peg. So we're going to go just like this. I'm going to use different colors so you guys can see better what I'm doing. All right. So we're going from this peg to this peg, straight across, just like that. And now we're going to go from this peg to this peg. But when we work this, we need to make sure this rubber band we just put on is down just a tad bit, so there's space for this rubber band to go on, and then we take it to the one behind it and then just slide that down a little, just like that. And now we go from this back to this back, here to here. And see how I've got it angled down? So I've got room to put one more rubber band coming from this one to this one. From here to here. So it should look just like this. And now each peg has 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. We should have 4, well, not you should, we should have, but I have 2 blue, 2 yellow, 2 blue, 2 yellow, 2 blue, 2 yellow. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take our hook, and with our U's facing to us, we're going to insert and grab the bottom 2 blue, just like that, and take that up over. Okay, and we're going to do that for each peg, the bottom 2 blue, and bring it over the top. Go to the back, grab the bottom 2 blue, bring that over the top. And then on this one, the bottom 2, do I have them both? Yeah, over the top. All right, now we can slide that down a little. And now we're going to take the blue, the bottom 2 blue, take that over the top. Just like we did. All right, so now we should only have 2 strands on our pegs. And in my case, it's the yellow. So we're going to slide that down. And I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more blue, or yellow. So we're going to repeat the same thing we did when we first did that round of yellow. We're going to go from this peg to this peg, this peg to this peg, this peg to this peg, this peg to this peg. So we'll just put that on there. Make sure it's angled down a little bit so we got room for the other band. I'm going to go from this one to the back. This one to this one. Pull that down a tad. This one to this one. Okay? And the goal with this is to not, well, it's not a big deal if it happens, but what I don't want are my rubber bands crisscross like this. So I don't want I want a nice flush rubber band on my peg. And what that does is keeps the chevron of the hook, the hook cover, if I can get my words out, it keeps the V's of that chevron nice and neat, nice and pretty. All right, so now we're going to take the yellow, the 2 bottom yellow, over the top. Bottom yellow over the top. Go to the back and do the same thing. All right, now we just pull them down. And I'm going to go back to my blue. From this one to this one. I'm going to show you guys what I don't want it to happen. This one to this one. This one to this one. And this one to this one. Now you see how it crossed right here? Right there? That's what I don't want. So that's why we pull that rubber band down just a tad bit. Okay, now we just bring the yellow over the top. Push them down. I'm going to do 2 more blue. So this one to this one, this one to this one. Bottom blue over the top. Bottom blue over the top. Ooh, I about knocked one of my rubber bands off. Get back on there. Okay, go to the back. The bottom blue over the top. And the bottom blue over the top. And then slide them down. And push your work down a little bit. And it's going to get to where this part right here, our work, it gets a little snug coming through these, but I'm gonna show you guys how we work through that. All right, so now I'm gonna go back to my yellow. All right, this one to this one. Whoa! I just shot it. This one to that one. And this one to this one. Now, just bring the bottom two blue over the top. And push them down. All right, so I'm gonna work these. Oh, nope, I need blue. I'm gonna keep working this a few more times. Okay, so I've worked that a few more times, and you can see the bottom of our work is just poking out the bottom of the pegs. So I'm just going to grab that and give it a little bit of a tug, and it pops right out of there. Now, at this point, if you wanted to, not a big deal if you do, or if you don't. Sorry about that, I had to sneeze. I don't know what my deal is today, but man, I have sneezed and sneezed and sneezed. But, okay, so anyway, what I was going to say, if you want to, you can take your hook and you can go ahead and push it right down the middle of your work. And you can work around your hook if you want to. You know, make sure you get it nice and neat on that end. Be careful though, because you can't just shove the hook right out the bottom of your work here. And then this will give you a good idea, you know, as you're working, how high up your hook you want to go. So it just depends, you know, what kind of shaft do you like? Do you like the whole long piece, or do you just work just a little bit? So I like the clovers where you just have, do I have one? Yeah. So I like just having this little bit of shaft right there, but you know, if you guys want more, then you don't have to work your hook cover, your hook grippy, whatever you want to call it, as far up your hook as you want. As you know, you don't have to work it up as far. Oh, okay, excuse me. All right, so we are just going to keep going here, and I'm going to switch back to my yellow. And I'm just going to keep going around. Alrighty, so I've worked this so far up, and you can tell, can you see it like down here, the rubber bands aren't so stretched out, but up here they kind of are, and then you can see the blue of my crochet hook right in here. So what I'm basing this off of is my rubber bands aren't tight down here, right? But if I give this a little tug, there, you can see how stretched they are on that hook. So this kind of gives me an idea of how, or not how, but where it's going to set on my hook. And like as of now, it's pretty high up on my hook, right? But when we take it off and do some adjusting, it's not going to be all the way up here. It's going to come down a little bit farther. So I'm going to go ahead and call it good here. And I'm going to show you guys how to take this off. Now, you know, where you like yours, you know, if you want it down here, you can see how all the rubber bands are bunching up. But if I pull it up and make sure your hook is in the bottom of your cover, see how high it's come up now, but you can see how stretched those rubber bands are. So it's going to adjust as we go, as we take it off. But what we're going to do now is we are going to hold it with the front of the pegs facing us, the U, and I'm going to take this one over the hook. So I'm going to take it off and bring both of those loops over my hook. And now I'm going to come catty corner to this back one and take it over the top of the hook. So that way it crisscrosses and holds both. Or like this one's holding, excuse me, this one is holding this one down. So now I'm going to come to this one and take it over the top. And now I'm going to come to the catty corner to the back to this one to catch this one, and pops right off. And now I can squish that down. Oh, see how it just popped out the bottom? I can squish my hook down, or my cover down, to the way I like it. And there we go. There is a hook cover. And if you want it higher, just stretch it a little higher. Or if you want it lower. And there you go. So, I hope you guys like my little tutorial here. You guys seen that in one of my videos, and I had a couple people ask for a tutorial, a tutorial, so I thought I'd show you how I did that. And that's it. I mean, I'm going to put a link in the description box for the set I got from Amazon, and then the other set I got from Walmart. And that's it, guys. I will see you in the next one. Check out the description box. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed. Leave me a comment and let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.